Welcome to State of Repair. It's a new YouTube channel that I'm starting in which I'm going to be fixing things that I've up. In our first episode, I'm going to be replacing or attempting to replace the Chargeport door on my Ford F-150 Lightning. And that's because last week, after I cleared my driveway with my electric Ego snowblower, and I was backing the Lightning out of the garage, I hit the snowblower with the Chargeport door that I forgot to close. And yes, there is a warning on the driver's display, an idiot light that says charge flap open. I ignored it. I backed out, hit the handle of the snowblower, and broke my Chargeport door. Well, actually, it didn't appear to be too broken. It was a little loose, but what happened was the outer plastic cover broke off, and it was laying there right on the floor. I was able to pick it up, slide it on, and I thought I snapped it into place nicely. So I was like, wow, I dodged a bullet here. You know, I don't think this thing's broken, even though the handle felt a little bit looser than it normally does. It worked, so I was fine. In any event, when I came home later that night, I noticed the Chargeport cover that I snapped on fell off, and now I need to make a repair. I was hoping that I could just order that piece and snap it on, maybe with a little dab of silicone or something to make sure it doesn't fall off again, but I don't think you can. I couldn't find it online. This whole Chargeport door assembly that Ford sells, I'll put the part number here on screen, and it was about $250. So I said, you know what? That's not all that bad. If I can do this myself and not have to go to a Ford dealership and pay, $200 in labor or whatever. So let me see if I can't buy one and do it myself. The do-it-myselfer that I am. And so I looked online. I didn't pay the $250 that I saw in most Ford dealerships. I was able to find one on eBay, brand new OEM part for $185. So I saved a few bucks there. Let's see if that pays off. I hope that it's the right part when I open this thing up, that it's the original OEM. Well, I can't imagine there'd be a third-party company making these things. It's such a specific item. But anyway, let's take a look and see what we have inside. It says, Ford parts on here, official Ford parts. Actually, the part number is NL3Z-10370-BR1X. So let me slice this thing open her up. We'll see what we have inside. Okay, that looks like it's just, okay. And yes, yeah, that sure as heck seems like an original OEM part to me. Okay, here we go in black. It says Lariat. I actually found one that said Pro. That was $10 less. And I thought about getting it for a minute, and I'm like, for $10 more, I'll have the right cover on the Chargeport. So pop open, okay. Here we go. So it's a whole assembly. I'm not gonna figure out how to put this thing on. It seems like there's only one plug-in connection that I have to worry about. This hinge here seems like it's going to be a problem. I'll have to get that in first and twist it. But it comes as a whole piece here. And take a look at the back. There's no screws or anything. It looks like this just snaps in. There's four, extended pieces with little edge pieces that would clip on. I think this just pops in, and we'll first attach this and pop in. Now, for those that might say, Tom, why would you even consider messing with your Chargeport? This has nothing to do with the actual high voltage cables or anything. That all comes in here, gets snapped through. This is just a piece of plastic with one connection here that powers the light in here. So I'm not interfering with the actual high voltage CCS1 port at all. This is basically just a trim ring that goes around it. I would not mess with the high voltage cables in the truck. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. But this is something that I think I can handle. So what we're gonna do now is, first I need to try to remove the existing one because I don't really see how I'm gonna be able to get my fingers behind this to pull it out. I don't know. let's go over and take a look at what that looks like on the truck, and we'll see if we can do this. If not, worst comes to worst, I'll go to my Ford dealer, hand them this thing and say, charge me labor. They won't love me for doing that, but I know those guys down there and they'll do it. So, but I think I can get this thing on. Let's see. All right, so I've taken a look at it and I think I have a game plan. Let me first open up the Chargeport. Now, this has to get installed where you push this end in first and then snap it in. Because of the hinge, this has to be in first. So I'd imagine I've got to put it in like this and then snap it into place. So I can't pull this side out first, which I'd like to be able to because that's the only place I can grip. There's nowhere over here to grip. So what I noticed is this bezel here can be removed. Let me see. I just snapped it off a little. Now it came off easier this time because I've already just removed it, but if you pry this, you can pull it off. I did break one of the plastic tabs, which wouldn't affect me putting it back in, but be careful when you do that. Okay, now what I noticed, there's a couple of holes here. So that'll give me the ability to get something in there and pull it out. So what I'm going to use is, they're not big holes, so you need something small. I'm going to use this little tool that I have here with a little hook on it. And I can put it in here. Now I checked, there's no wires or anything there. I'm not going to be gouging anything. But this will let me pull this side and hopefully get that. Let me see if I get my fingers behind it. I can pull it out enough where I can get my fingers. There we go. I think I got this one side out. Let me see. There we go. Okay. And there's just the one connection that I noted before. Doesn't seem like I did any damage. It just snapped out the way it's supposed to. So very carefully, I don't want to touch those high voltage cables back there. I'm going to remove this. Let me just take a look at exactly how that gets removed, how you pinch it and pull it out. It's actually tethered there, so when I do pull this out, it won't fall down. It's attached to this brace here. So let me figure out how to remove this and without breaking it. Okay, so after examining the new one, I think I understand how now that clasp releases. You've got to push the top of it and pull out. So let's give it a try. There we go. And there's the connection. Okay, I also noticed while I was looking at it closely, part of the hinge cover broke when I hit this and pulled it back. So it's another reason why I'm glad that I did the whole thing. This plastic snaps on like this. This is broken. One of the pieces there you could probably see is broken off. I mean, I probably could have reused this and snapped it back in, but you know, I had to get the whole assembly, so let's replace the whole thing. Okay, so now I just need to connect this wire and snap it back into place. So I'm going to reposition the camera for that so you guys could see it a little bit more clearly. This video was sponsored by Qmerit, North America's premier installer of electric vehicle charging equipment. After I've helped you decide which electric vehicle charger you're going to buy, follow the link in the description of my videos and have Qmerit install it. And if you follow that link, Qmerit will waive the $150 installation deposit. But in order to have the deposit waived, you must follow the link in the description of my videos. Okay, I'm ready to go, but I wanted to point one thing out. I was studying these two, and they're nearly identical, but it seems like Ford made a slight improvement. Let's take a look at the old one first. You could see where the wire is that goes to the one connector here. it drapes around here. There's a piece of tape here, black tape. Then it goes through this little channel, up and around through another channel, and around here, and it's taped on the edge here. And you can see it's starting to fray from time. You know, it's possible water might splash up from the wheel well or something, but just from time, the tape is going to give out. But on the new one, there's no tape. They actually added an extra little clip here. See this clip here? And that holds the wire in, and it just, everything's a little bit tighter. There's no tape anywhere. There's a channel that runs along here to allow the wire to hold in by itself. So it's minor, but you could see that that's something that Ford improved upon. They realized the wire was dangling and it could be a problem, so they were adding tape in the beginning. I have a very early build, one of the first Lightnings that came out in 2022. So they realized they need to improve upon that, and they did. So the one I have is actually a little bit better. In any event, let's pop this open now. Let me attach this wire. Okay, this side up. There it is. Got that connected. The wire actually popped out of that channel while I was doing that because I had to push it pretty hard. All right, now I pop it back in. Now I'd imagine I've got to get this in first. There we go. All right, we're lined up. And okay. No, this bottom side's not locked in. All right, there it is. It wasn't snapped in before. Looks good to me. Last test, let me plug in my Ford Charge Station Pro, make sure that whatever I did didn't interfere with the charge port opening. But actually, I'm having a little bit of an issue here. The CCS portion doesn't seem to want to, oh, there it is. 1 second, I gotta push it down. I don't think I did have it snapped all the way in. There we go. Yeah, it just, for this hinge for the CCS on the bottom, if it wasn't pushed in 100%, let me lean on that. It's all attached in, but I had to push it just a little bit. Now it snaps open. So let's get my Ford Charge Station Pro over here, which needs the bottom pins, the CCS pins. Let's plug in, getting the lights, and we're charging. Okay, so I'm not as dumb as I look, I guess. I mean, maybe I am, but I still was able to do this. So this was not a high-level repair, but it appears as though I've made up for my foolishness and not looking at the warning in my driver's display to tell me my charge port was open and trying to back out of the garage and breaking off my charge flap. Okay, well, that wraps up the first video in the State of Repair series. I'm sure I'm going to break other stuff from time to time. I tend to do that. And when it's EV related, at least, maybe I'll make a video on it. And listen, I hope that this maybe helps somebody who is in a similar situation. I am sure I'm not the only person that broke off their charge port flap. Now you know, it's really not that hard to do. You could order it online. You just pull the old one off, unplug the wires, pop the new one in, and you're good to go. So yeah, just make sure you get the right trim. Actually, I should have got platinum, right? And then tried to sell it for more than lariat's worth. I don't know, too many people would fall for that. But in any event, that's it for our charge port door swap here. If this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews and the occasional repair. And as always, thanks for watching.